Hey, JW back here. I just got to the elementary school and getting ready to get out and start my shift here, and really enjoy this one the best, I guess, because I really get to interact with the younger kids. Most of the kids that are walkers they're the older kids, the kids that walk alone. And they walk in groups, but, I mean, they're technically alone. Their parents aren't with them. I'd say they're the 9 and 10-year-olds, 4th and 5th grade, while the parents usually are with the kids younger than that. If the kids... Sometimes you'll see an 8-year-old walking alone, but for the most part, I'd say it's the 4th and 5th. First, second, and third, they usually have a parent. And the older they get, they require more freedom because they see other kids walking alone. Even when they're a couple of years younger, they'll tell their parents, "Listen, don't come up and meet me right as I get out of school. Wait down the end of the walk that I have to go down, and meet me down there where the crossing guard stands." And that's how I get to know a lot of the mothers. The mothers told me they've had strict instructions not to hover over their children, and that's good. That tells you. I tell them that too. They sometimes feel bad. Oh, they don't want me around. She doesn't want me around anymore. I'll say, no. Look at it as though you're giving her or him the independence they really need to become, functioning adults. And this is just part of the growing process. We've all gone through it. Anyone who has children will tell you that you wake up one morning and you realize that your child, they still need you. I have a 40-year-old. She still needs us. Good. I wish she didn't. But anyway, they still need you, but they believe at some point that they don't need you anymore. That until they do. They know that when the time comes, they'll need you, whether it's for money but when they're, with their friends and hanging out with other kids, they don't want too much of mom and dad around. In fact, they want as little as possible, and they don't want you don't use the cutesy names you might call them, or, call them honey. Just, if you do address them by their name. I get all the, dope from the, from the parents who tell me what the kids say to them. And I said the same thing to my child, so I know. We've all been there if you have children, and if you don't, you'll see someday what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. But this is definitely the part of the job I enjoy the most when I'm dealing with the smaller kids, because you can actually have an impact on them. I give them little tips if they come down flying down on their bike, and they like showing off, slamming on the brakes, and I'll just tell them, listen, I don't want anything to happen to you. I love you, man. You're a good kid, and I need you in my life, and can you slow down a little for me? And they usually will comply to a point. And then they forget, and they start right up again. Most of the kids are good. And I told you before, the walkers are the best, because walkers, they realize that they have to be a little more independent because it's necessary, if they're going to get home. And so one of the moms coming down, I just waved to her. But yeah, it's good. It's the whole job is good. I think I've told people this before. If you get a chance to be a crossing guard, try it. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised how fulfilling it can be. It's enjoyable, and knowing that you're providing a service to the community and to the parents of the children. Parents just want their children to be safe as possible, and we're just crossing guard. I'm just another layer of safety for them, and I take the gig seriously, and not to the point where I can be very lighthearted, and I am with the kids, but sometimes I have to kind of be stern and scold them and say, hey, don't move until I tell you. The kids sometimes want to jump out when they see the car stop. A lot of times the car will stop, even though I didn't ask it to stop. And I know they mean well, but I wish they wouldn't do that. because then the kids think they can just fly out. And I have the kids pretty much trained. I stop the traffic. Once I do that, they remain back, and until I say go, they don't go. So, but it's just human nature. I know people want to be nice. Then you get the one who doesn't want to stop at all. They put your hand up and they go blowing past you. But it's, again, human nature, right? That's what it's all about. This job shows you human nature from all sides, and that's good. So anyway, I better get out and get set to take on the boys and girls. It's first day back to school from a long weekend. They'll have stories for me, I'm sure. That's the other thing. I like when they tell me what they did and where they went. So anyway, I'll talk to you later, maybe tonight, or if not, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. By the way, I put up a video I'm going to be putting up a video on walking. So if you're looking for exercise, especially if you're older, and I don't mean old, but even in your 50s and 60s, you need to start walking. Get off your butt. If you're retired, you really need to be out walking. But anyway, I'm going to head out. I'll talk to you guys soon.